Welcome everybody. My name is Tim Sandy. I'm a VMware Systems Engineer. In this session, we're going to talk about VMware's vCloud Air Disaster Recovery as a Service, or DRaaS. I'll do a real quick overview of what it is, what it isn't, and then finish off with the potential opportunities as well as handling some of the objections that you'll hear from your customers when you talk to them about it. So let's get started. So let's start off with just going over an overview of what DR as a service is and what it offers for those of you that are new to it. So first off, it's a synchronous replication and failover solution for vSphere customers. It comes with a warm standby capacity with basic failover automation support on a per VM basis. It offers self-service recovery point objectives, RPO settings from 15 minutes to 24 hours, depending on your internet connection. Also, recovery time objective, or RTO, of less than 4 hours or less, rather. Remote management and monitoring of your DR instance. It also includes 2 DR tests per year so that you can ensure that it is working properly. And also 30-day failover runtime in the event that you do declare a disaster. So you have 30 days in which you can run your systems out in your DR as a service instance. Some additional comments to clarify what DR as a service is and what it isn't. Again, it is a warm standby DR solution. It does not offer a hot DR or an active-active type of capability to provide for continuous running and synchronized servers in both your environments simultaneously. That's not what DR as a service is intended for. It's again for those critical failures and temporary running your VMs out on the DR as a service instance, not to be running both instances at the same time. It also does not offer automated failover and failback functionality. Like if you're familiar with our Site Recovery Manager product, it's not like that. It doesn't offer automatic failover and failback. It is a manual process, and the virtual machines must be powered off during both the failover and failback process. The Core DR as a Service SKU provides you with auto-reserve capacity on vCloud Air for failover with 10 gigahertz of vCPU compute, 20 gigabits of VRAM, 1 terabyte of storage, 10 megabits allocated bandwidth, 2 public IP addresses, as well as 2 tests per year to go ahead and ensure that you're set up and that your failover will work properly. As you see, the DR as a Service instance is one of 3 types of vCloud Air offerings. The other 2 is our vCloud Air Dedicated Cloud and our Virtual Private Cloud, or VPC. Just keep in mind that the DR as a Service instance is a separate core offering from the dedicated and virtual private instances. There are also several add-ons that are available for DR as a Service to accommodate individuals' needs. So you can obviously add additional items such as your compute, your storage, and networking, as well as the offline data transfer, which is an option for customers that need to move large amounts of VMs and data out to their DR as a service instance initially to seed them out there. Also, additional testing events, if those are needed, you can purchase them as well. So if you do quarterly testing events, you need 4 a year, you can buy additional testing events. So those are just some of the additional options that you can purchase in addition to the core offering. We've made managing your DR as a Service instance very easy. It can be done directly from the vCloud Air web portal, as you see in the image on the right, as well as using the vCloud Air plugin within the vSphere web client. And most of your admins are already very familiar with using the vSphere web client, so there's really not much of a learning curve, again, making it very easy for them to be able to manage your DR as a Service instance without having to learn anything new. So now when you're talking to your customers, you need to properly qualify them to ensure that DR as a Service is a good fit for them, because it's not for everybody. First off, ask them if they need 0 downtime for their systems and services. Do they need 0 data loss? Do they also need everything to be automated failover and failback for their VMs? If any of these answers are yes, then DR as a Service is not for them. Now ask them, are they running vSphere and vCenter 5.1 or higher? Are the host licensed for Essential Plus or higher editions? Is the 15-minute to 24-hour recovery point objectives, or RPO, acceptable, as well as the 4 hours or less recovery time objective, or RTO, acceptable? If the answers are yes to all of these, then DR as a Service is definitely a good fit to talk to them about the service. So this is a good tool to gauge when you're talking to your customers. Ask these questions, and if you ask these questions and you get the answers back, this will let you know whether the customer is a good candidate or not and whether you should talk to them. Now that you have an idea of what DR as a service is and what it isn't, let's talk about the potential DR as a service opportunities, as well as how to deal with some of the more common objections that you may hear when talking to them. The main takeaway from this slide is simply that 3 out of 4 businesses, or 75% of them, currently do not have a DR plan at all. This is a huge opportunity for you to start talking to your partners and their customers about DR. Many small to mid-sized businesses currently do not have DR solutions because of the associated cost to having a DR solution. These customers are the key ones to talk to about the DRaaS offering. It is a cost-effective way for these customers to have a DR solution without all that associated high CapEx and OpEx costs for the associated infrastructure for DR. So again, these are the people that you can talk to about it, and there's a huge market out there for it. Additional incentives for selling DR as a service is that the market is expected to grow 21% year over year all the way through to 2017, and then after that it may taper off a little bit. The percentage might go down, but there's still going to be plenty of opportunity for years to come. With DR as a service, the average selling cycle is also 28% shorter than your other sales cycles. So again, this means with minimal effort, you can close a DR as a service deal quickly, get customers comfortable with running their environments in the cloud. Once they're used to working in the cloud for a while, you then have the opportunity to talk to them about our other cloud-based offerings, such as dedicated and virtual private offerings, to increase your sales, as well as adding additional other add-ons to their DR as a service instance. Let's talk about a few objections you might get from customers when speaking to them about a DR as a service offering. A common objection is, I need synchronous replication and zero downtime. As a vCloud Air DR as a service offering provides asynchronous replication as well as the self-service RPO settings from 15 minutes to 24. This does meet some customers' requirements, but potentially not all of them. However, it may be more appropriate for their Tier 2 and 3 workloads, remote office protection, or even replace expensive and complicated DR solutions. So just remember that DR as a service may not be the right fit for everybody. So don't try to force it upon them if it's not going to fit their needs. Why can't I automate failover and failback for DR events? If you need to have this to be automated, the failover process can be partially scripted out to automate some of these tasks. If they want it to be fully automated, there are some third-party solutions as well that can assist in automating the process of failover and failback. And in the near future, you're also going to see that VMware is looking to improve these capabilities in future releases. So keep an eye out for those in the upcoming releases this year. And then what if my internet connection between my on-premise and DR as a service instance is too slow and you're having problems? You can purchase dedicated MPLS connections that provide a secure and fast bandwidth speeds between your on-premise and your vCloud Air site an instance. That way it will make sure that you have that solid connection and also secure connection between the sites, so then that isn't an issue. You can also purchase third-party WAN optimization utilities or appliances, which will help again reduce the amount of traffic that has to go across between these two sites, again reducing the amount of bandwidth required and making this a more efficient and robust type of offering. So those are some of the common questions that you'll run into and kind of how to handle them. So that concludes the DR as a service portion of the presentation, but I would like to talk to you about one additional item. This session is a part of many that we do for our VMware enablement through Tech Data. We've made it a little bit easier for you to make sure that you stay on top of your enablement at all times. In 2 easy steps, you can make sure that you stay enabled. The first step is to go out to our VMware enablement registration link that you see in the lower left-hand side there, and put in your name, put in your email address, what your role is, either sales, technical sales, engineer, or architect, and then select 1, 2, or all 3 of the different levels of enablement that you'd like to stay informed about. So 101 level is sales, product, packaging, and licensing. 201 level is technical sales, product positioning, and updates. 301 level is engineering, technical deep dives, and demos. And then the second step is to go out to our enablement calendar, and you'll see the link there on the lower right hand side, and just go out to the calendar and make sure that you stay abreast of upcoming sessions that we're going to have. We'll also have links to previously recorded sessions out on our YouTube page, which is where we put all of these recordings. So again, please go out, get registered. You'll get the notifications about upcoming enablement events, as well as go out and keep an eye on the calendar for upcoming as well as previously recorded sessions. That completes the session on our vCloud Air Disaster Recovery as a Service. I hope this session was informative for you, and I look forward to seeing you on future sessions. Thank you and have a great day.